Alright, Shannon vlogs 31 Days of Horror, Day 5 with Infini. Infini. Not infinity, but Infini. Hey everyone, it is Shannon. I am excited to continue my 31 Days of Horror with an exploration into horror movies that are new to me, plus some significant rewatches. And this one is a new to me title. That's exactly why I picked it. It popped up on Netflix. It was a 2015 film. I'm like, I'm gonna watch that. And it looked kind of creepy, so I was like, I'm gonna watch that for 31 Days of Horror. I also had a friend mention that he was watching it on Facebook, so I thought, oh, okay, this is definitely gonna fit the bill for 31 Days of Horror. And it is an Australian film by Shane Abbess, who did the 2007 Gabriel, which is a very highly stylized film. I actually didn't realize it was the same director until afterwards. This is also a very highly stylized film, but it's very visually different than Gabriel. Sorry, I said Gabriel. Nobody says that. Gabriel. But this one, it's hard. It's a little hard to describe. Well, it stars Daniel MacPherson, Luke Ford, who I remember from Animal Kingdom, and Luke Hemsworth, and it's actually, I'm gonna skip ahead to whether or not it's horror or not, because technically I would actually say this is a little more, this is science fiction. It's kind of horror in a science fiction setting, because it's a near future where you can transport through space in and have lots of time, or a different amount of time at the other end of your transport as when you return. However, this is a very dangerous type of procedure, or method of transportation. So the people who work in this job are a bit edgy, a bit it's a high risk situation. So yeah, so it's kind of like a lot, I don't know, like it's weird because a lot of people that were working there felt like, I can't imagine them doing anything else, but it kind of felt like it was giving off the vibe that this is sort of like, you know, this is sort of like your last chance at a job is to be able to do this, but it's highly trained. So that was a little confusing. Anyway, so it stars, the protagonist is sort of new. Either he's new to the job or new to the particular crew, and he's supposed to go out on this mission far away, and it sort of goes to hell pretty quickly. But in a very sort of high-paced, action-y type of way. So I don't want to get too much into the story. As you can get a sense of, it does have this science fiction vibe, and they go to another space, and it's like, I don't think it's either, I can't remember if it's a planet or a station on a planet or a station in space. I think it's a station on a planet that's being mined. That's what it is. So it's way more sophisticated than I anticipated. I had to spend a lot of time in trying to figure out and understand the world, not only figure out the characters and their motivations, because this guy is like a new guy, and then he's on this team, and the people, completely different people, and then it's like, and then there's this whole science fiction horror element to it that sort of throws everything off kilter. So I was like, whoa, this is a lot to take in. And then through all that, you're having all of this, action stuff and horror stuff, and it's just like, it just keeps on coming at you. So it's kind of a mixed genre, omelet of sorts, because it had so much in it, and it was really, really tense. The tension level was really high. It kind of reminded me of Pandora, or Pandorum, and that's mostly because, for me, I felt like it was going to be a science fiction movie, but it was really a horror movie. And then oddly with this one, I'm saying it's more of a science fiction movie. The idea of this transportation and a lot of the other, I don't want to spoil the movie, but a lot of the other elements are more science fiction oriented, but it is very gory. So I would also say that it fits in the horror category as well. The tension is very high. It does have a fair amount of fighting and action in it, so it actually ticks off a lot of boxes, and I guess that puts it in the realm of genre, as they say. So that is whether or not it was science fiction or not. Was it scary? There are definitely unnerving ideas in this one, and it had a lot of tension that really was freaky, and so I don't know if don't know if I would say I was scared while watching it, but I was definitely on edge. And I think it dealt with that really well. It does do a lot of things that I'm not a huge fan of, a lot of like quick, quick cuts and, you know, like feeling like, what are you seeing? Are you seeing the current? Is this the past? Is this the future? Who are you seeing? Like really quick jarring things like that, and I'm just not a huge fan of that stylistically, although I think it really made sense in terms of what was going on. But it's kind of a lot to take in, and it is off. It does put you on edge, especially for a movie. I can't remember how long it was, but it felt like, oh wow, like if this was a shorter movie, I think I would have held that tension better, but it was like really really intense for longer than I expected, and my brain was going like like really working to try and not understand the world, understand the motivations, understand the possibilities of what was happening, what was going on. So it was really working hard. But and did I enjoy it? I would say generally yes. I felt like had to put in like a little bit more effort than maybe I would have wanted to. Maybe I've turned into a lazy movie watcher. I don't know. Because it is a lot with all of the elements of the world. The weird thing is though is that the world was really well developed. Like I didn't feel like I didn't understand it. I felt like I wanted to understand it more. I felt like this is an interesting place. This is an interesting time. There is so much more I can know about this world. Like, what is the day in the life of someone who doesn't work, with these people that do this fast mode transportation? What is their day like? What is like, you see the apartment of where this guy lives with his pregnant girlfriend or wife, I can't remember, and it's very small and it's very basic, and he obviously is doing this, for his family and to be able to provide for them, and I got that as a theme, but I'm like, what is what is the richest person's life like? What is it like when people go to school? Is there school? Because there's so many people, overpopulation, that kind of stuff. So the world was really interesting and developed, but then like we got into sort of like this crazy like mystery, high-paced action, horror, sci-fi thing going on, and it was like, whoa! Like, so there was all the other elements that were added onto it. So overall, I ended up giving it a 7.5 out of 10, and it was really more of an 8 out of 10, which for me is a good watch. Happy I watched it. Enjoyable movie, but because I had to work a little harder than expected, I knocked it down just a little bit, but it's definitely, I would say quality-wise, it's definitely an 8, enjoyable movie. Yeah, it was pretty gory, so that doesn't suit everyone. I'm sure 31 Days of Horror people are all about that, and yeah, so that is Infini. I do have a few things for the spoiler zone. So if you haven't watched the movie and you're planning on watching the movie and you don't want to know anything more, we'll see you at the next video. If you have watched the movie and would like to know some minutia, here we go in the spoiler zone. 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is very specific about the sort of idea of this entity that was taking people over and this idea of looking for a true alpha. I had a real challenge with this because I don't understand how, unless the entity, the melted ice entity thing, was only one creature, how could that work? I didn't get it. Or are there multiples and they were looking for a leader, they were looking for an alpha, you know, but what they were interacting with or what was overtaking them, to me it didn't make sense. The whole searching for the true alpha thing didn't really make a lot of sense. I didn't like how would that work? Is it just one person reaching out? Or because you can't have a race of alphas, that doesn't work, it doesn't make sense. And then if it's a singular creature, the concept of an alpha is irrelevant. So I had some trouble with that. So maybe it was like a reconnaissance thing or something. I also felt it was a little like Sphere, especially towards the end, and a little like The Thing. But I think the stuff that was like The Thing was really a nod to The Thing. And I forgot to say that I really, really thought the acting was good, especially the main guy, Daniel MacPherson. He was really good, and Luke Ford was fabulous. And a lot of the guys I think I recognized from Gabriel, which I also quite enjoyed, although it was very that, like, the unique visuals was like, whoa, like really out there. And in this one, it felt like way more polished, but the setting sort of lends itself to that. So overall, I did enjoy Infini, but like, wow, it was intense. It was intense. I needed to like, whoa. I think actually, like, I needed a break after that. So well done. Really curious to see more from Shane Abbess. I think it's you know, really fascinating take. Great story, great just it was so intense and really interesting and so many ideas. Would love to know more about the world. I think it would have been an interesting series to have a series set in this world. That would be fascinating. I would love that. So there you go. That is Infini. Whew. We'll see you at the next one. Take care.